Well, greetings there, folks. Bill O'Leary here coming to you in this video. And what I'm going to be talking about is how often should you update your estate plan? So you're going to learn three very important things. Number one, the two big mistakes that people do make with estate planning and how one of those mistakes is not updating an existing estate plan. Number two, how often you should review your estate plan. And number three, some of the sort of the life events that may occur, which should really trigger you to get a review done of your estate plan. So just by way of introduction, again, my name is Bill O'Leary. I am an attorney with Legacy Planning Law Group in Jacksonville, Florida, and we do things like estate planning and probate and elder law and the like. So let's jump right in. So really, there are two big mistakes that people make with estate planning. One is simply having no plan at all, not having even just a basic will in place or a power of attorney. The other is for those people that do have an estate plan, but not updating it as they should. Mistake number two. That's the mistake I want to focus on. I want to talk to those people that have an estate plan, but haven't looked at it for a long time. Once you establish your estate plan, you should make sure that it stays up to date by revisiting it regularly. I've heard some people say every 3 to 5 years. I think that's very good. In fact, we encourage our clients to do it more often, every year or two. Come on in, let's sit down and talk. Is anything occurred in your life? If not, then you have the peace of mind knowing that you are still good to go. Now, in addition to sort of regular periodic reviews, if there's been a certain life event that has occurred, it should necessitate a review. So let me talk about some of the life events that I see that really should cause somebody to take another look at their existing estate plan. Number one, you get married or divorced. And while the law, yes, it does allow some direct inheritance of shared property for spouses, the fact is also true that your spouse will not automatically become your beneficiary. So if you want your spouse to inherit your property, or maybe have access to, let's say, brokerage accounts or access to life insurance policies, maybe if you want to allow them to make end-of-life decisions for you or help you with financial affairs, you have to specifically name your spouse in your estate plan. In addition, any former spouses whom you no longer want to inherit any assets from you or make any important healthcare financial decisions, they should be removed from your existing estate plan documents. Another life event, you've moved to another state. Estate planning laws are not national, okay? It's state by state, and each has a very different laws and nuances. And so they may vary on things like how do they deal with powers of attorney, advanced healthcare directives, living wills, and the like. And by the way, here in Florida, we have our very unique homestead law, which we love. So if you have moved into the state of Florida from another state, you really need to update your estate plan. I like to call that to Floridarize. I know that's not a word. Your estate plan, because it could not work here in Florida, but you at least want to know whether it can or can't. And if it can't, then go ahead and update it to Florida. Another life event would be any changes to your health. So if you've been diagnosed, let's say with some sort of condition, health condition, and so forth, that can affect your decision-making ability, carefully consider who you would want to care for you if you become incapacitated. So your estate plan should include things like powers of attorney for financial matters, designations of healthcare surrogate for medical, living will, for both you and your spouse if married. Another situation that can come up is, let's say your loved ones have changed, sort of the objects of your bounty or your desire have changed. And for most people, this happens when there's, let's say, an addition to the family. So let's say a new child is born, a new grandchild is born, and you want to include them now in your estate plan. You should get your important estate plan documents updated so that the new family members are named, and it eliminates any potential confusion or disputes down the road. Let's say that you have a new in-law, your son or daughter gets married, and you want to, let's say, add them to the estate plan. And then on the flip side, there may be situations where somebody that was in your estate plan years ago, you no longer want them a part of your plan. Let's say a child that regrettably doesn't talk to you anymore, that you want to exclude them. You need to update your estate plan. Another situation, let's say that your assets have changed or your liabilities have changed. So let's say about assets, if there's a significant change in the value of the assets from when the plan was done years ago, then you really should get a review of your plan. Whether the estate value has increased or decreased, either direction, you need to review carefully how the property and the assets are going to be divided and decide if that's still what you want in light of the new circumstances. Another situation, let's say the persons that you named in your existing plan years ago as your executor or maybe your trustee, well, now they're not the best choice, okay? So those are important positions that you name people to implement your plan. And a lot of times, who does the implementation will dictate whether the plan is successful or not. Most people, frankly, don't give enough consideration or attention to these appointments. So even when the appointments were made carefully at first, circumstances might change. So carefully reconsider them. Maybe the people that you appointed, they have capacity issues, declining health. Maybe they passed away, okay? Maybe they no longer would want to take on the job. Well, why name someone who's not going to be accepting the role? So again, the people that you've named, make sure that they're still the right people for you. And then one other change in circumstance, the law has changed. So many estate plans don't age well over time because the law changes. For example, here in Florida in 2011, there was a substantial change in our law as it relates to financial powers of attorney that really triggered a push to get updated powers of attorney. There was another change in the law dealing with medical directives, advanced directives in 2015. So again, law changes can dictate a change in your estate plan to update it. So, hey, if you'd like to know a little bit more about how often you should update your estate plan, and if you want to know how maybe we could help you with that, we'd love to talk to you. So we invite you to schedule a free 15-minute phone call. We actually call it our discovery phone call. And it's really easy to schedule it. Just go to the link at the bottom of this video and click on it. Takes you right to our scheduler. Pick the day and time that works for you, and we'll jump on the call. If you've enjoyed this video, we'd ask that you kindly like it. And if you've not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. We're putting up more and more content all the time. So Bill O'Leary signing off for now. Go make it a great day and a better world.